Teaching has always been my passion. I love speaking to audiences. I love sharing my research and my work experience. The most fun I have is when I'm speaking with people, particularly when I'm sharing with them counterintuitive findings or lessons that I've learned, because there's a lot of myths and a lot of things that people assume to be true about innovation or transformation out there. And whenever I can challenge people and show them something they didn't expect, that's when it's the most fun for me when I'm speaking. I thought I'd sit down because I think it looks cool. I look like a jazz singer. The look of love. Okay, my name is Tendayi, and I just want to hang out with you today. Sometimes things go wrong. Things don't always go as planned, right? But no matter what happens, I always try and have fun with it. Hey everyone, my name is Tendayi. Let's just check if this is working. That's the last slide. All right, I'm gonna do the presentation backwards. So my work starts in the area of creativity and innovation, particularly inside large organizations. Because inside these large organizations, the existing business, the core business, pretty much powers everything, and everyone is paying attention to it, and no one is really paying attention to innovation. So innovation always happens as like a sideshow. My passion has been to take innovation out of the skunk works and make it a core part of how a company does their everyday business. As innovators, what we're trying to do is make innovation a legitimate part of how our company does business. You know how like the guy in finance, the CFO, he doesn't have to justify his job, but as innovators, we always have to justify ours. And the reason is because our roles are not yet a legitimate part of how the company views itself as doing business. And the only way that innovation can become a core part of how a business does its work is if you can get strategic alignment. Sometimes innovators are working in their labs and they're not part of what's happening with the core strategy of the business. So if you can get strategic alignment, it's much more likely that innovation becomes something that's important for leaders within the organization. Most things that innovators are working on are not on anybody's strategic plan. They're not on anybody's roadmap for the future. Nobody's thinking about what to do with those things, right? But you can't get strategic alignment if you're just working on your own, right? You need buy-in from leaders, from members of key functions. You need to be able to work well with others and bring others along. And that's a central part of transformation. You can't really do it on your own. You need others to contribute. You need others to participate. You need others to have a positive evaluation of the work that you're doing so they can start to actively contribute to your success. If the idea is that you go from having a really great idea and taking it to market, it inevitably means that you have to have other people in your organization help you do that. If you're in a corporate context, it's impossible to have an idea and then have it out in the world without somebody from logistics helping you, someone from manufacturing helping you, someone from IT helping you, someone from HR helping you hire, somebody giving you funding. All of those people have to make a contribution to that. So the first thing you have to do is lose the ego. You are not Elon Musk. And you don't work in a company full of idiots. So whenever you're driving change inside an organization or trying to drive innovation, you really need to have political acumen. I know people hate the word politics, but whenever you have people working together, there's always some blockers and some tensions to navigate. And so you need to be able to build relationships so that people can work with you and support whatever it is that you're working on. Which one of these characteristics is unique to entrepreneurs? Unique to entrepreneurs, okay? Market awareness, innovativeness, determination, political acumen, proactivity. Which of these is unique to entrepreneurs? Great. Political acumen, absolutely correct. There's a real difference between push and pull transformation. One of the mistakes I made early on in my career was I used to walk around with a slide deck trying to convince everyone to join the work that I was doing. But actually, what's better is to create gravity, is to do things that make the work so attractive that others are willing to join. So rather than run a political campaign where you're walking around with a slide deck, it's better to find early adopters, people that are already bought into the work that you're trying to do, and work with them to get an early win. So creating gravity is really important, and early wins serve an important role in that. But the only way that early wins can actually help you create gravity is if you start to celebrate these wins. So storytelling becomes a critical part of creating this gravity. When you get your early win, celebrate like crazy. Like, write blog posts, take pictures, go on the intranet of your company and tell everyone your success story. Don't hide the early win. Roll out the leader that you worked with, make them famous. Right? Because when you make that leader famous, other leaders are like, I'm getting left behind. Can I also be part of your program? Right? So rather than go out in the world and go on a political campaign to try and recruit everyone, create like a magnetic field towards you, draw people towards you by the quality of the work you do. So if you're driving change inside your organization, you really have to balance between the passion you have for the change and your ability to bring others along. It's a bit of a paradox because people are caught in inertia and somehow you have to move them out of the inertia. So you have to kind of make them change. But at the same time, you have to make them want to change. So you kind of have to bring them along. And it's a bit of a dance that you have to do. And the ability to do that is really what's going to help you become successful. So I'm going to wrap up with saying a good entrepreneur is a set of contradictions. It's like watching an NFL player who's like 300 pounds, but their feet move like ballet dancers. And you're like, how does that guy have feet that are that nimble? So I have a passion for helping leaders bridge the gap between how they plan change and how their people experience it. Because if you can get alignment between what you're actually trying to accomplish and how people view what you're trying to accomplish, then you're far more likely to get change that sticks. So I look forward to speaking with you at your next event so I can share with you some of these ideas. And now the winner is well done. So you win a copy of Pirates of the Navy. And thank you everybody for allowing me to speak to you.